Welcome to the fan cams. 1-0 for any Tottenham fans watching. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Let me say it again, a little bit louder. 1-0, baby, away from home. But you know what number is even better than 1 today? 83. Because you can save 83% if you scan the QR code for IPVanish, the best VPN on the whole planet. In the history of Tottenham, the history of Chelsea, all of it. Although, I'll be honest, you haven't got much to compete with around here. They don't do much. They don't have many shots. They don't create many chances. But listen, if this was a 3 o'clock kickoff, you wouldn't have been able to watch it. Luckily, it was a 5:30. So check out IPVanish. There's a link in the description. You can watch all the games with VPN. Everyone knows how it goes. And 1-0, baby, for all the Tottenham fans. Hello, everyone, from Chelsea Fan TV. Tottenham 0, Chelsea 1, one and done. It's happened again. 3-point lane. I saw a lot of chickens, but no points for Tottenham, mate.
No, mate, I said before the game, it weren't going to be like the last couple here, where we've scored 4 and it's been crazy end-to-end games. Like, Spurs do defend reasonably well. They are better coached under Frank. But, mate, I'll be honest, the lineup, I was a little bit surprised. James in midfield, Gusto, Garnacho in, Fofana and Chalobah at the back, no action. Pong was I'm a little bit concerned about this. But in the end, it turned out absolutely fine. Look, we weren't, wow, what a performance, but we defended really well. We took the chance that we did have, and we nullified their threat from set pieces. Sanchez was outstanding at collecting the balls into the box, commanding all the time. And yeah, mate, just a solid performance, a solid afternoon in a game that, to be perfectly honest, after the Sunderland loss, we had to win. We had to come here and we had to win, and we got the job done, mate. So look, I'm delighted we won. I'm really happy with it, and it's nice to see that we actually were resilient and kept a clean sheet, even though we weren't really troubled much. We still neutralised the situation, and we did well.
Yeah, I was quite impressed with our defending, especially outside our own box. We weren't giving the Tottenham players much time on the ball. Don't get me wrong, like, you have to look at them and say they were poor, but I think we deserve a little bit of credit for the way we defended as well, definitely. I mean, if we look at the Forest game, that clean sheet, totally different to today.
Yeah, totally different today, because in the Forest game we should have been punished. We gave up so many chances with sloppy passes, giving possession away. Today, I felt we were really, really good, mate. Really good. And fair play to to Fofana and Chalobah. Chalobah's coming for a lot of criticism this season, and rightfully so in certain instances. But he defended well today. I thought Fofana was outstanding. Really, really impressed. This is a guy that struggled a lot with injuries, but when he's fully fit, he's our best centre back comfortably by some distance. And whenever he comes back and whenever he comes back from an injury, or whether he comes into play after not playing for however many games, he's straight at the level required. He defends well on the front foot, wins stuff in the air. Great bringing the ball forward. Keep this guy fit, and defensively we should 100% improve.
What's the key in terms of managing Fofana? Because some people will say, well, I think most people would probably say, you didn't have to take him off for tossing in that game. But then you know why Maresca's done it, because he wants to rest him for that last 10 minutes or whatever. But I think we were perfectly capable of keeping Fofana on the pitch. I mean, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, I can't lie. When I seen there was about 5 minutes left and tossing was coming on and Fofana was going off, I was like, please, just not today. Not today. Just don't do anything fucking stupid. But, I mean, look, Fofana's going to be on that sort of Reece James comeback plan where, you're not playing more than once a week at the moment. You're managed very, very carefully. And do you know what? You can't really knock it. As frustrating as it might be for us, it's worked great with Reece. We can implement that with Fofana and implement that with Lavia. Then it's going to massively benefit us in the long term. So whilst it's annoying, you want Fofana to play as much as possible, I'd rather him be fit. So yes, if he's not going to play every game, then fine for the time being. Let's get him fit and then we can unleash him every week. So he is a top draw player.
I mean, now we feel like we can count on Reece James. We have a clear rule with him. Every 7 days, 90 minutes, and then you can have a break. Maybe it's just the case of doing a similar thing. But what do you prioritise in that? Do you prioritise your cup competitions or your league competitions for Fofana?
I think you've got to prioritise the league. Yeah. I mean, look, not saying the cup games don't matter, but we need to be winning league games. We need to be picking points up. So I wouldn't bother playing him against Qarabag on Wednesday night and then slot him back in against Wolves on Saturday. I wouldn't even bother taking Fofana on the plane, to be perfectly honest. Just leave him at home. But yeah, no, look, I think midfield we were very good. Moises Caicedo was outstanding in the middle of the park. And that's what you really want to see from him as well, winning the ball high up the pitch and setting up goals also. I think that's a part of his game that's been massively overlooked, and that was crucial for for the only goal of the game. He wins it hard at the pitch. He plays a simple pass to Joao Pedro, and Pedro finishes it off. So he done well, done really well. So I'm impressed with tossing Fofana, Chalobah, Reece James outstanding, Caicedo very good. Pedro was decent. He worked hard. Neto worked hard as well. I mean,
yeah, I think he pulled something at the end, or something.
No, I think it's just a bit of cramp, but. Right. I mean, yeah, it was a solid performance all round, really, and that's a welcome reprieve from the games where we've been conceding goals all over the place.
What's the number one takeaway from this game that you go, you know what, this is something that I need to see more often? And it's one character. It could be effort, it could be the way we defended, structure. What do you look at?
I think the way we defended, the intensity we played with, was a far cry from the lack of intensity we had against Sunderland. And just the way we defended and how hard we worked as well. Everyone worked really hard off the ball. We were brilliant off the ball as well. So I think for me, those are the main case. Those are the main things. There's
a lot of games where you see a lot of the right things from players, and then there's one moment that ruins it, and you can't really appreciate a defensive performance without a clean sheet. I think it's nice that people can actually single out the fact that. Pedro Neto, although he was poor on the ball, at least I thought he was poor on the ball, I thought he was okay off the ball. Cucurella as well, I thought he did fantastic in that game. One thing I wasn't particularly... I thought Enzo was pretty average, if I'm honest with you, mate. But he got put in a 10 again, a position that we've said... Buonanotte hasn't really got it. Obviously, Palmer's out. João Pedro can't play there if he's a striker. Yeah. So what's the solution there? Because I think that Enzo's better a little bit deeper. Most people would probably agree with that.
I mean, yeah, he probably is, but I think in these big games, mate, those other ones aren't trusted. Buonanotte didn't even make the squad today. He's not making squad in Premier League games. And to be honest, you'd much rather have João Pedro up front in a big game than Mark Guiu. Let's be real. So that means that it is Enzo in the 10. Give us that solidity in the midfield and, allow us to be a bit more defensive-minded when needed as well. Look, you could say, well, why doesn't he play Esteban in the 10 and then drop Enzo alongside Caicedo? But maybe in a big game away from home, he wants a bit more solidity and a bit more stability in that centre of the park. But I mean, look, it wasn't Enzo's best game. I don't think he was terrible, but there's definitely food for thought in that situation.
It's just that final ball at the end. I just felt like we were missing it. Could have gone to Garnacho at one point. I know a lot of people were frustrated with Garnacho.
Yeah.
For me, I can't really say too much. Gittins missed an easy chance as well.
I think first half Garnacho wasn't great. Second half he was better. Gittins came on, rightfully so, but he didn't really do an awful lot. All I'm saying is, thank God that sitter he missed at the end didn't cost us anything. If that had been 0-0 and he'd missed that, fuck me, would have been disastrous. But I suppose the only disappointment was that we didn't kill it off and get 2 or 3-0, because we should have scored with Gittins, and probably João Pedro should have scored as well. But luckily it didn't cost us in the end. But in some games that might cost us. So I suppose we need to be a bit more efficient and a bit more clinical in front of goal, really.
Is this the best you've felt about us defending set pieces in a long time?
Well, I mean,
especially long throws.
Well, to be fair, mate, I haven't felt good about defending set pieces all season, really. I just think Sanchez just commanded the box. They didn't actually launch that many long throws, and all the corners they put in, Sanchez just collected them. So I was surprised by their lack of threat from set pieces. I thought they would have been much more dangerous and maybe troubled us more from that. But they literally, mate, they offered next to nothing in the entire game.
Yeah, they don't have much creativity. It looks very flat.
No, mate, they were very flat. I was expecting a tougher afternoon, to be honest. I was a little bit... not concerned, but I thought we're going to be in for a tough game today. And it was a tough game in the sense that it was close in terms of scoreline, but I'm surprised with them being the home side. They literally offered nothing whatsoever, and that made our life much easier.
This is another game that I can look at, and I will say another, because there's been a fair few actually, where I thought, fair play, Sanchez. And yeah. I guess the question is, how many more games does he need to have like this for the majority of fans to go, you know what, you got a lot of stick, you were very poor when you first come in, but you are now a goalkeeper that we feel we can trust?
I think you need to see it for at least 3/4 of a season. Well, you really do. We can't just be going off, a handful of games at the start of a season. We've got to see that consistently. No major errors, no big mistakes for pretty much a whole season, really, until I'm going to change my mind. He's doing well right now and will rightly be praised, but I need to see that over best part of a season before I change my mind at all. And ultimately, if we want to win the big trophies, we have to upgrade on him. But he's doing well right now, but we need to see that over the course of a season.
What would you prioritise more, a centre-back or a goalkeeper?
Probably a centre-back, because if you've got the better centre-back, then you should have the goalkeeper should in theory have less to do.
Yeah, so it makes it easier for him. That makes sense. Yeah. What's your take on Baku as well? You're not going out there, are you?
No, I'm not going to Baku, no.
Why can't you go? I can't remember why you said you couldn't go. Is it work?
Yeah. And to be honest, mate, rather go to a better trip, to be honest. I mean, Baku. Look,
Why not go to all of them, Charlie? What's going on here, mate?
Plastic, mate. No, we need to win that game. You know, we're 2 wins from our first 3 games. You've got to win that one because we've got Barcelona and 2 tough trips to Italy coming up, so we can't really afford to be dropping points there. I probably would rotate slightly, leave some players at home, but we still need to go relatively strong because they're at home. It'll be a difficult place to go, and they've done reasonably well. Same record as us, 2 wins from their first 3 games. So that's not going to be easy at all.
Yeah, I do feel like the away atmosphere is starting to pick up a little bit. I mean, the first half I thought it was flat all round from everyone. Maybe that's just because, in fairness, there wasn't much going on in the game. But what do you make about the away fans this season? Do you think they're getting better? Because if I'm being totally honest, I don't feel particularly impressed with the away support throughout the 90 minutes. That's just my personal opinion.
Oh, man, I thought it was all right today. I thought it was pretty good.
It got better,
yeah, no,
but
definitely
I
got
didn't
better.
think it was that great.
Yeah, no, it definitely got better. I thought it was decent. To be honest, I thought it was decent. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe you sit in different places. Obviously, slightly different.
I'm certainly away end as well, but I just feel like there just seems to be that unless we score, nothing happens.
I mean, to be fair, look, it can be difficult sometimes. I always feel Spurs away is one of the better ones. But yeah, no, I think in general the away support's been pretty good this year. I mean, not everywhere, but the vast majority of it, I think it's been pretty decent. Yeah. So if you can't enjoy winning against Spurs or can't get an atmosphere away at Tottenham, then you've got a massive problem.
We managed to get it in the end.
Yeah.
Big up to you, my friend. Thanks so much.